Tata, then Kailasham, to the Mount Kailas, Agamat went, Saha, he, Bhrigu, Tam, him, Deva Maha Ishvaraha, Lord Shiva, Parirabdum, to embrace, Samarebe, attempted, Utthaya, standing up, Prartharam, his brother, Muda, with pleasure. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Bhrigu then went to Mount Kailash. There, Lord Shiva stood up and happily came forward to embrace his brother. Purport. In the Vedic civilization, it is considered very important to properly greet one's family members, especially when one has not seen them for a long time. A worthy son should show respect to his father. A younger brother should honor his older brother, and the older brother should show affection to his younger brother in return. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Chatarine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desasarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Please bless me. Need more blessings because I don't know what I'm speaking. I'm trying to see, understand what the chapter is. These Krishna and Arjuna retrieve a Brahmana's sons, but we have not come there yet. The Brahmana's sons first. So this verse is talking about Bhrigu sage has been given a task, that is to find out who is the chief among the lords of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, who is greatest. So Bhrigu has been given this task to find out who is the greatest among these three personalities. Because sages were on the bank of Saraswati, they were discussing, but generally it happens on discussions that sages means anyone who is a spiritualist is a sage, and there are different types. There are munis, yogis, brahmavadis, like that. So everyone has different opinions. So even our scriptures, the Vedic scriptures, they accommodate everyone. Even if one has a different opinion, they are not throwing away the Vedic scriptures. That's why it is Kalpataru. It is like a wish-fulfilling tree. Wish-fulfilling tree, Kalpataru. I'm not comparing, but just to see a study, other religions, there is like my way or no way, or generally. But in Vedic scriptures, we have 6 darshanas. Darshanas, we have Upanishads, we have the Vedanta Sutra, and then we have all the Puranas, and we have the 4 Vedas, and the Itihasas, all. But there are primarily a lot of Vedic scriptures have darshanas. See, darshana means seeing or view. There are 6 of them. One of them is Vedanta Sutra also. That means 6 different opinions. 6 darshanas means 6 different opinions. Different sages have different opinion on what Vyasadeva given on Vedanta Sutra and what Vyasadeva given on Upanishads, and they compiled and they come up with 6 darshanas, different philosophies. So always when devotees or when sages anyway assemble, there is difference of opinion. That doesn't mean that one is, it is one correct and one may be not correct, but still all these darshanas, all these Vedas, they are all set in such a way that one ultimately progresses towards the supreme goal, to the supreme Lord. So here also these sages have been assembled. So then the conversations happen, and then there is, now they want to find out who is the greatest among these 3 great personalities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Anyone know what they are called? They are called a particular incarnations. Guna avatars. Thank you. So they are Guna avatars. They are controlling the 3 modes. 3 modes of this material nature. Now that is making everyone to act in this material world. Traigunya Vishya Veda. What of the verse in Bhagavad Gita is the modes are acting, not do a kartaham iti manyate, it was. So anyway, so the Bhagavad Gita verse also says that we think in falsely that I am the doer, but in reality the modes are acting. So these modes are being controlled by these personalities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. They are called Guna avatars. So they are like the puppets. We are all under these modes. A drunkard has no choice. We can tell in the evening late evening where a drunkard generally goes. We can foretell. We don't have to be astrologer because that's what we do, because he's dragged by that mode of ignorance. He has no choice. He just dragged by that. Like someone who he needs help, of course, but understanding is that the mode is acting on him. That same a person in mode of goodness or passion, they are dragged. The person who wants to earn money in mode of passion, he's always thinking 24/7, how can I increase my dollars? So he's forced. There's no choice for him. Like that. And Arjuna is asking Krishna that, why is this one person commits sin? As if somebody is forcing. Kama yesha, krodha yesha, rajoguna samudho. Krishna is telling that out of desire of lust. And then one acts like that. So we have all desires, material desires, and we are acting like that. But then modes are fulfilling those desires. So we have desires to enjoy different modes, and modes give them that channel, give them that impetus to fulfill those desires, because living entities are here to fulfill their desires separately from Krishna. So these great personalities considered to be the controllers of this world, because everybody is is acted upon by the modes. And who is controlling the modes? These 3 personalities. So the sages are discussing that 3 of them are there, but who is the greatest? And Bhrigu Muni got this assignment to find out who is the greatest. So first he entered the court of Brahmaji, and he didn't offer any respects to him. And Brahma is father of Bhrigu. So in the Vedic culture, elders are respected. Even they are addressed with respect. When they are addressed with respect. In Vedic culture, the pronoun or the address, there is a different for elders and for equals and for juniors. For juniors. So they're different in every language derived from Vedic culture, it has same, is that we don't call in Vedic culture the elders by their name. They are addressed with their respectfully, generally not called by their name also. And then the etiquette is that when you go in front of the elders, you offer your respects or your obeisances. So here, naturally, Lord Brahma, Bhrigu has come after a long time, and then came to Lord Brahma, and then he didn't offer him respect to test Brahmaji. Now, Prabhupada says one's greatness is estimated by how he tolerates in the provoking situation. So Bhrigu is now testing these three personalities by seeing how they will tolerate the provoking situation. Because the task given to him to find out who is the greatest. So he didn't go to see, who has a lot of wealth, who has a lot of beauty, who has renunciation, all the six opulences, who has knowledge, to find out the greatest. He didn't go to find out who has these opulences, but he went to find out who can be tolerant, who can be humble. That's the greatest wealth. One has to say when somebody, one is great, we can estimate others like how great they are, not by their Vedic knowledge, not there by devotion. We can't see. They are their external things, but to see how they respond to provoking situations or how they respond to the so-called difficulties in their lives. So, because when difficulties come in the life, generally the tendency is to blame others, or then they take that into a different level, anger, frustration, and all that. So, especially that happens within our close circles. How we tolerate provoking situation with our close friends and family members, that shows how great a person is. With whom we are day in and day out, how we tolerate the situations. So Bhrigu is testing Brahmaji by not offering obeisances, that we discussed in the previous verse. And Brahmaji naturally became anger, not naturally, sorry. It is a it is a leela, I think, past time. So he became angry that, you came, my son came, but he didn't offer obeisances, because father has responsibility to teach the son, and Brahmaji is thinking, what did I teach all these years? The son is not following what I taught him. So natural anger it is. That's why I say naturally, that is like natural anger with love. When children does something which is not what taught to them, then naturally parents become little anger. So, but Brahmaji still subdued the anger. It's mentioned here, how fire is extinguished by its own product, water. So this was, then he went to Mount Kailash, where Lord Shiva is brother. Bhrigu's brother is Lord Shiva. So he went to Mount Kailash, and then he wanted to test Lord Shiva now, because he saw Brahmaji, anger is visible on his face. Though he subdued it, it became visible to Bhrigu that Brahma became angry. So he couldn't tolerate the provoking situation. Bhrigu decided, now let me go and see other personality, Lord Shiva. He went to Lord Shiva to Mount Kailash, and Lord Shiva became very happy to see his brother Bhrigu coming. He got up and he started dancing. Oh, my brother, I'm seeing you after a long time. He started dancing, and then he wanted to come. And then almost like equal, brothers are like equal. Here Lord Shiva is kind of elder also to Bhrigu, but almost equal. So Lord Shiva stood up and very jubilantly, happily, he came forward to embrace his brother Bhrigu in a dancing way, dancing. So it's in the purport mentioned how one should offer his respects to the elders. The father, young brother should honor his older brother, and the older brother should show affection to the younger brother. So that is the give and take. There is a respect, and elders show their affection and blessings to the younger ones. Now that is the younger ones feel sheltered when they see this, when they offer respects and they get the affection and blessings. So they feel sheltered. So it's like a reciprocation. It is in the elders and youngers. No. So we see ahead in the verses, how the story unfolds. That how even Lord Shiva becomes intolerant, and then he goes to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu becomes very tolerant. So just to, because I want to discuss another story. Is so Lord Shiva doesn't, when Bhrigu says don't embrace me, the Lord Shiva becomes angry. Then he goes to Lord Vishnu, and then Lord Vishnu, he goes directly to Lord Vishnu and then kicks Lord Vishnu's chest with his feet. So Bhrigu is committing an offense at 3 different levels to test these personalities. First, Brahmaji with mind. He went in front of Brahmaji, and then Brahma, his father, he didn't do anything. In the mind, he committed offense by not offering his respects or obeisances. It's a 1 level of offense. In the second case, he went to Lord Shiva, then he committed offense by speech. He said, don't touch me. And then he said so many other things. We'll discuss, we'll come that in, and then later verses. And third, he went to Lord Shiva and he committed his offense by his action, by kicking Lord Shiva's chest with his feet. The level of offense he committed has increased from one person to another. The offense committed by action is considered the greatest offense. And below that is offense by speech, and below that is offense by mind. In Kali Yuga, all the offenses we commit by mind is forgiven. There is no reaction to it. So whatever because the Kali Yuga minds are very complex. So there are different things we think, we have different assumptions, different provocations, we process differently. The same incident, different people see different ways because of their different upbringing and different experiences they had and so many things. So in Kali Yuga, it is all forgiven. But in previous Vedic scriptures or Vedic previous ages, the society is almost the same level. They all have different categories, they all have different same levels. So it's understood that they are all at same level. So the expectation is different at that time. So in the Kali Yuga, the offenses in the mind are forgiven. But any desire to do devotional service in the mind is equally awarded. So if we think that I want to chant Hare Krishna and I want to go to temple, we think even, then we are awarded with the credit of going to temple. When you think that I want to go to the temple and plan in the mind, okay, tomorrow I'll take this away and this time I'll go and I'll come to temple to see the darshan of Radha Muralidhar. The credit is already awarded. So, but any offense we do in the mind, we think bad about a person, or we think something wrong about a person, that is forgiven. So the offense committed by Bhrigu in the mind was not forgiven. In the sense, Brahmaji became angry. But we'll discuss that later some other time for Bhrigu's what reaction was. But here, So the offense committed in the mind is forgiven, and the offense in the Kali Yuga, and the devotional service or the good we think is avoided. So one may not say that, okay, it is forgiven, the offense is committed in the mind, so I keep on committing offense. What happens is thoughts become words and words become actions. So same thing it is. What we have in the thought, it will gradually evolve into words. We speak about it and then we act on it. So that's why it is better to change our thoughts. If we are thinking something bad about others or committing offense against others, it's better to clarify, open up, and change our thoughts before it even turns into words. The fact that we are speaking to someone else, if you speak to someone else about somebody, about this person did this and all, that means already we have contemplated in the mind and committed the offense in the mind, and then we coming up now to speak about it to that person or to anybody and anything like that. Then we already came to level 2. So the ideal is, that's why the first level we cannot, it's forgiven. That means it's natural that we have misunderstandings, we have wrong understandings. Deliberately we think some ill about others, bad about others, because the mind is complex in this Kali Yuga, and we are all still practicing devotees, still trying to practice and purify ourselves. So that's why it is forgiven. But when it comes to the words, then we have to see that it's not going into action. That's where we have to take a step. We cannot stop at mind, but we can stop at action, and we can stop at words also by humble inquiry. So here, the Bhrigu's actions show many lessons that how one should tolerate the provoking situations. Anyone share anything?
Maybe it's interesting when you talk about like thoughts, how it develops in the mind. Would it be the agitation is our karma or possibly those around us?
Yeah, to some extent. So he's asking because how we get agitated in the mind is due to past karma, or how we signed up. Question, right? Yeah, to some extent, yes, but we still have the free will, because, like I said, we are acting, we are forced to act by the modes, 3 modes. The modes we acquire due to past karma. In this body, the modes we acquire due to past karma. Some may be by birth in mode of goodness and some are in ignorance. So they acquire that. But this modes and karma is not permanent. It's changing every day, every moment. What choices we make every moment, our karma changes. The modes we are acting on changes. That's why the process of devotional service is to raise everyone from the mode of goodness to passion to, mode of ignorance to passion to goodness. The goal is, that's not the goal, but at least to come to the platform of goodness. The process of devotional service helps one to raise to the goodness and then to transcend altogether. The other thing is that's not the goal. The goal of devotional service is to transcend this mode. The modes are still binding, even goodness is binding to this material world. It is a good, one is bind with an iron shackles, another is bind with a silver shackle, or another bind with a golden shackle. Still they are shackled. The modes are like that. The ignorance, passion, and goodness, they are all shackling us to this material world. They're tying us to this material world. The goal is not just to come to goodness. I want to be good. I want to be peaceful. I want to be very nice and good for others and for the earth, for the environment, for the people, for the country, for society. That's all good, but that's not the goal. We have to, but how do we transcend? We have to come to goodness to transcend this. One cannot transcend being in the lower modes. If you have to go from here to say another place, want to go to now it's summer, we want to go to a colder place in Canada, suppose. So we take an airplane. So to go to airplane, we have to go to the runway, to the first board the flight, and the flight will take off. Airplane will take off only when the runway is there. The goal is not to be in the flight, but the goal is to reach destination, and the goodness acts like that runway for us to take off to transcend. So that is the goal. So it doesn't matter who has which karma and which background they are coming from and all. But if the process, if they follow the process of devotional service, they follow the instructions of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, and follow the principle of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, that is devotional service in practice. To practice the devotional service, then we gradually elevate to the mode of goodness and then can transcend. Did that answer?
Anyone else online? Any questions? Adi Purush or anything?
Hare Krishna. You can hear us okay? Can you hear us? No? Yes?
Yes, I can hear you, Prabhu.
Okay. Yeah. Uh, our understanding, and I might be wrong, please correct me. We've had experience approaching people and offering them access to devotional service, giving them literature, asking for donation. And the society in general is inhabited by such a spectrum of people, some of them very deeply covered by ignorance and passion, some of them relatively in the mode of goodness, and our objective is to, within a few minutes, encourage them, approach them, and request that they engage in devotional service. And in those brief exchanges, for decades, talking to 100, 200 people a day, very few of them are in the mode of goodness, although there are some that are, have that. And we found that Krishna enables us to talk to someone, even people that are right there as some dead animal being burnt on their barbecue, or actually while they're killing a pig. And one time I walked into a place in Kaohsiung, and they had just hung this poor pig by his heels, and they were cutting his throat.
Krishna.
They were cutting that the blood was running, and these men were covered with blood, and they were
Skip this part.
this poor animal. And we spoke to them, and they gave a donation. They certainly were not in the mode of goodness, but devotional service is in the Old West. They say the equalizer. If you're in a fight and you have a gun, you come to the level of being dominant. So devotional service is, Krishna is amazing equalizer. One time, I just examples, I can think of thousands of them. One time we were in Washington, D.C., and basketball game, people coming in, parking their car, and there's this one parking lot that goes deep, 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 far away. It's very dark, all the way at the end of the line, the last car in, and there are these four gentlemen, and they were all, they had some cocaine on mirror, they roll up a dollar bill and they snort the little lines of white powder into their nose, to get intoxicated with cocaine. So, we go up to the window, we go to the next car. And I walked up to the window, which was open, and I said, gentlemen, and all four of them pulled out guns. Click, 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 click. I was like, oh God. They were intimidated by the fact that they had this drugs there and somebody come up to the window, But Krishna gives you something to say. That's the most amazing thing. I said, gentlemen, and they went click, click, click. We had these little piece of paraphernalia we were passing out. I said, we're supposed to give these to all the ugly guys. Somehow or other, they burst into laughter and they all gave donation. But I'm saying that the point is that devotional service cuts through, no matter how fallen, how crazy, how dark, how long they've been embedded in complete ridiculous activity. When you go and you do your prescribed duty of approaching them and offering them an opportunity to get somehow or other, Krishna allows us, to engage them, So it's true that the mode of goodness is a lot easier to step into, like transcendence and study of Shastra, and even though it's the golden shackles, they're less covered over, but still, Krishna can bring anyone from any point. Striya Vaishya Tatashu Jastepi Yanti Parangatim, right? Kirata Hananda Palinda Pukasha, right? The different categories of men covered over, deeply covered over, deeper covered, very deeply covered over by the modes of material nature, impelled to be involved in horrible activities. And at that point, when they meet a devotee, there's a possibility that Krishna will allow us to touch their heart and give them an opportunity to serve Krishna in devotional service, and just like that. What you say is true, but also don't think Krishna can't reach this one. And that's what my impression of going to people, I think, oh, not these guys, First of all, there's 5 of them, they're all drunk and they're all doing it. But go there and say, Lord, I have no qualification to speak to these people. I'm here on your behalf. Let me dance with you, like Prabhupada did that song on the Jaladuta. These people are covered by the modes of passion and ignorance. But if you so desire, you will allow me to be an instrument to give them your message and to uplift them. Isn't it? I mean, that's the miracle of devotional service. We believe in Lord Krishna, the cause of all causes and all that is, all pervasive and locally manifest. We believe in every lineage, part and parcel and quality, one with one. We believe in the miracle of devotional service as a Vaishnava creed. We believe in the miracle of devotional service. Miracle means it doesn't seem possible that this could happen, but Krishna can do it. I'm talking too much. I'll go to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you for sharing that beautiful point. That to come to devotional service, doesn't matter which mode one is in. The qualification to come to devotional service, these modes are not disqualification. Anybody in any mode can come to devotional service. Devotional service comes only by the mercy of the devotee. Even Krishna cannot give devotional service to others. Only a devotee can give devotional service to others. And a devotee does not distinguish, does not see qualification or disqualification. We see, like Prabhuji Purushu mentioned, how he is. He is in the footsteps of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who delivered Jaga and Madai.
Were they in the mode of goodness? They were rapists, they were murderers, they were intoxicated, they were cutthroats.
So Lord Nityananda Prabhu has led us. He showed us the example, highest example, how a devotee should approach others. And you have been doing that for years. You did that.
Coach Evan, Hare Krishna.
Just from your feet on my head.
Prabhupada did. He came here to the darkest place.
Same Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhupada.
So Bhima, as a thing, but I just wanted to comment on that. just on that point that, which is, yeah, obviously absolutely correct, and Lord Nityananda and Jagai, and for Jagai Mada, but still, for them to attain devotional service is one thing, but then for them to maintain devotional service
That's
is
true.
another thing.
Yeah,
They had to surrender
yeah,
to Lord Chaitanya, and they had to give up their
Give up
bad
their-
habits.
yeah.
They had to become elevated.
Right.
So anyone has access. That's, you can attain it, but to maintain it,
Yeah.
you have to follow the principles. Otherwise, Prabhupada would have just freely given, no one had to make any vows.
Right,
No one had to
right,
do. So we have to also rise to the higher platform to maintain pure devotional service also. So I think it's an important point, and combination of both needs to be there, I think. Bhima also has his hand raised, so I'll turn it on.
Because he always comes on.
Haribo, very quickly, I guess it's
Bhima Prabhu, we can't hear you. Or wait a minute, let me see if I get some. Yeah,
can you hear me now?
yes, sir.
Hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't really have much to say. I think you guys all covered it. I would like to, if there is going to be an afterglow, hear from Prabhu, just a brief summary of what I'm driving, so it sort of cut in and out. A brief summary of what his feelings about the verse and the purport are, as brief as possible, so that we can regather ourselves around the original point. But I think that the point is expressed now, and which becomes each and every one of our responsibility, that no matter where we're at, not only are we going out to reach Jagai and Madais, but sometimes we have a bit of the Jagai and Madai within ourselves. But that we can have faith that, hey, whatever Krishna says in the Gita, if you can't just surrender everything, then do this, and if you can't do that, well, then at least try to do that, and if you can't do that, then at least have some wonder what's going on. At least try to find the truth somewhere, like yearn for it, and I will reveal it to you. And most often Krishna uses his devotees to reveal these truths, and it's not necessarily just in a book. It's in the culture of Krishna consciousness. The fact that, we have the conch blowing now. Yes. Let us see the deities. Hare Krishna. We'll talk later.
His Grace Sundarnath Prabhu ki
Jai.
stepping in last minute to give an amazing talk. Ki jai.
Jai.
Vedam Padmavindaya Kacham Bhagavatam Samasitam Purasudaram Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vicheta Jashobam Govindam Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusha Tamaham Bhajami Angayasya Sakalam Priya Priti Bhakti Namaskyanti Pandikayanti Shiram Yaganti Andajima Sadhu Vigrasya Govindam Hari Punyam Tamaham Bhajami 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 Govindam Hari Punyam. Govindam Hari Punyam. Yeah.
The lotus feet of us are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean with fearless suffering.
Obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is a perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates, and by him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, friend of the poor and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. May your fame be spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter at your lotus feet.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Bhima Prabhu, I'm looking at your window and looks like you're driving to New York.
I am. Are you in New York? Are you back?
No, I'm still in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I thought I just heard Ram. I had my window down in my car and I heard this scream from the other side of Massachusetts, dude. What a kid. I just very quickly wanted to say that, I've been on of course, as with some of us, most of us Westerners, have been on the outside of Krishna consciousness and remember how we went from, I guess, maybe receiving a book or one day hearing a kirtan or one day getting a sticker from Adi Purusha that says, the Lord loves you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing's going to be all right. That's Adi Purusha when he's around. It's, you got, the world's on fire. Let's pray,
Pray about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's pray about it. Which is a wonderful thing, a wonderful thing, because in the end, when Krishna brings you to face what akinchana really is, having nothing, like you actually get a taste of it. People start dying around you, or the government, or there's a lockdown and your business closes down and stuff like that. You get to see that little drop shaken on the edge of a lotus leaf, and you tend to start seeing through the veil of the things that we've depended on in this life, and you just come to this point that all you actually really have is Krishna. But actually we have something more than Krishna, and that is we have the devotees, and we have devotional service, the culture. Somebody asked Prabhupada, what is the attractive thing about the movement? And once again, Prabhupada asked, what do you think is what will attract the people? And they say, chanting Hare Krishna, or this or that or the other thing, or the philosophy or something like that. And he says, no, it's the culture. It's and the culture means people gathering, and having having a gathering of singing and dancing and feasting, the food, the prashadam, all these things are those fine graces. That's more than Krishna, more than what Krishna gives. Krishna says, come and catch me. The devotees say, come on, let's go chase them. You need the devotees. We need the devotees with us to keep us chasing. That chasing is following the four regs. That was very important. Prabhuji brought up, you obtain Krishna, or you enter Krishna consciousness. Now comes the hard part. Not only do you have to chant, but you got to chant and be happy. You can only be happy if you're maintaining. If you're having doubt, like Krishna says, you're not happy in this world or the next. Guess what? You're nowhere. So all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to this class, all glories to the Prabhujis who have taken the time and to take their intelligence and learn these shastras and to remind us what is the true beauty and the true attractive subject of our affections, and the reservoir of everything that we could possibly want. So thank you very much, Prabhus, and thank you for tolerating me. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. That was very poetic. We see Madan Gopal Prabhu here. Madan Gopal Prabhu, would you like to speak?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. That was a great point. The devotees go a little bit beyond what even Krishna does. And there's actually a reason for that. Prabhupada explains that in the Gita as one purport, where, he says the devotee is more compassionate than Krishna, because Krishna won't go shake up people and force them. Devotees don't mind waking up people and forcing them to be Krishna conscious. Like, wake up, what's up with you? And kick them, wake up. Because see, Krishna has taken a vow to not disturb the independence of the jivas. We have not taken that vow. There's no contract between each other. So I'm going to go around slapping around people. Hey, wake up, sleeping soul. What are you doing? I'm sleeping. It's only 11:30 in the morning. Come on. So, I mean, that's our job. We don't need to be jerks about it, but that's kind of our job. And Mahaprabhu came to teach us how to do it. But I was reflecting on today's class. It's a very interesting situation with Bhrigu Muni, right? Bhrigu Muni going and kicking Vishnu. And then Krishna or Vishnu, instead of fighting him or chastising him, actually started massaging his feet and said, oh my God, your foot must be hurt because my chest is so hard, even though Vishnu's chest is like soft like lotus petals. So now one may ask, on one hand, Vishnu is not only tolerating, he's completely forgiving immediately this adharma that has happened, this massive offense. On the other hand, Krishna is urging Arjuna to fight on the battlefield. It's almost like opposite. One models extreme forgiveness, and the other is decisive confrontation. So which one should we subscribe to? It almost sounds like they're opposites, but they're actually two sides of the same principle of dharma. The point here is that Bhrigu's test of Vishnu was a personal insult. There was no threat to other people. There was no violation of justice that requires rectification. In such cases, forgiveness and humility are the highest path. In Kurukshetra, it was not about personal revenge. It was about restoring dharma for the people, protecting the innocent, removing an oppressive regime. In such cases, righteous action, which is the duty of the Kshatriya, and if it means using force, is the highest service to Krishna. So we see, like Prabhupada, when he was in the plane and somebody started smoking in the plane right near him, even though he's non-smoking section, and the devotee said, oh, Prabhupada, I'm going to complain to the stewardess, that this guy should stop. So Prabhupada said, no, it's okay, don't go. If we start complaining about these little things, what's the difference between us and them? See, it's not like it's an offense to the devotee as such. He's not, going out and insulting someone. It's fine. We tolerate certain things. So if it's personal inconvenience, we tolerate. If it's a matter of justice, if it's a matter of offense to another devotee, offense to the Lord, and so on, then we are decisive. So sometimes it can get confusing when to apply Trinada Pisunichena and when to not. You'll be surprised. Prabhupada said, if a devotee is being offended and you have to run and fight. And they said, not at that time, Trinada Pisunichena. No, at that time you don't, he put that aside. He actually said it in the lecture. It was so funny. Like you don't apply Trinada Pisunichena everywhere, which is very interesting. So I just want to share a thought.
Thank you, Mayan Gopal Prabhu. That's a great point. Yeah, Krishna consciousness includes common sense and applies it properly. Okay, I'd like to remark Saurabh Prabhu's haircut. You look very fresh, Prabhu. Thank you. See, Bhima Prabhu, devotees care. Devotees care how they look. They get fresh haircuts.
I want to be different. I don't want to care, and it's obvious.
Yeah, Chinmarada says that makes you unique. Yeah, Bhima Prabhu.
The distinction is what I'm hanging on to that last thing. Profit, profit. I'm not making a profit anymore. Nobody adores me. I've lost all adoration, but so I'm hanging on to distinction, just like you with your gray hair and your beautiful baby.
Haribol.
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. I kind of missed a little bit of the afterglow, of the Q&A. Did Adipusha Prabhu get to speak?
I did, but I have a little something to add. There's that point of contact with the devotee. In the Prabhupada's memories, there's a devotee from California. He was at a commune. It's a place where Tamal Krishna was living in a tree naked. You know that commune in California? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello? Can you hear
we
me?
can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah. So this devotee, he's a devotee now, but he said, I was there working in the garden. All I had on was socks and shoes, and I was naked, and I was digging potatoes. And Prabhupada came up, and he said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm digging potatoes. And Prabhupada said, no, what are you doing with your life? So there's the there's the point.
Was it the nudist commune?
What?
The nudist place?
It was a hippie commune, but there were a lot of people who had no clothes on.
Okay.
The
Just
devotee
wanted to clarify that.
Public memories is there. He said, I was there. All I had was my boots and my socks on. I was completely naked and I was digging potatoes. And Prabhupada said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm digging potatoes. And he said, no, what are you doing with your life? So the devotee steps in with another perspective and calls us, and it's like life changing. So that happens again and again. And even in the people in the lower modes of material nature. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you. Yeah, we should be grateful to those devotees who took the time and patience to interfere with our nonsense. Jai. Are you unmuting yourself to interject?
Pardon? Pause. Please push the top switch to resume.
He's chewing and glorifying Krishna. Do
Are you
not.
Were you just talking to me? Were
Yeah.
you talking to me?
Yeah.
I don't have, believe it or not, I don't have anything to say except for all glories to the assembled devotees. You're also, I'm out here. We all are in New York, and we say that this is a mad world. It's a mad world. And then you come to Bhagavatam class, and it's like you sit down and you take a deep breath and you go, well, it's not so mad. I don't necessarily have to jump into this mad world anymore. I don't have to be part of this mad world. And then, of course, the Bhagavatam class ends, and we find ourselves in this mad world again. And the only thing that can keep us steady is to remember what we learned in Bhagavatam class. And Krishna gives us so many forms of entertainment, like this Brigamuni pastime, you know, to think that someone would kick Vishnu, God, the God of heaven, Vishnu, in the chest. You know, that the Lord allowed that, inspired that, in order to make it known that he is the God of power and the God of forgiveness. And you know, perhaps we ourselves should learn to forgive, you know, all the things that happen to us in this world, because you know, Krishna has you know, sent Lord Chaitanya. Nityananda got a bottle up the side of the head. You know, Haridas Thakur was whipped in 23 marketplaces. Christ was crucified. We got to remember this stuff. Only the good die young, you know? So we got to remember this stuff, that, you know, Krishna, as Madan Gopal said, he doesn't make it easy. He doesn't make it easy. He's given, the tests are going to get harder. The cross is going to get heavier. And we should welcome it. That's the big one. Not only does it not get easy, he's going to keep throwing rocks at us, and we have to stop flinching. We have to stop ducking. We have to stop closing our eyes. Just like Prabhupada. Look what Prabhupada went through. So the Bhagavatam class reminds us of that by showing these adventures that Krishna himself is willing to go through in order to instruct his disciples, to instruct his devotees. And though I'm rambling on here myself, so once again, all glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Bhima Prabhu. Yeah, devotees are tolerating us, and therefore we should tolerate others and serve joyfully together to please Srila Prabhupada. Saurabh Prabhu.
I was just gonna add, I've heard Bhima Prabhu kind of emphasize what he just emphasized several times now. And I think it's quite powerful in the sense that it's nice to say and believe all of these things when everything is great, but when we're facing mountains, and based on what I'm sensing, he is also possibly facing obstacles in business or whatever it may be. But then to have the same mindset when you have hurdles and obstacles, that's the name of the game. And then he seems to be bringing his A game in that sense, in that situation. I think that's something I can take away from this, because it's nice when things are all great, yes, but we remember Krishna and have the same love for him and for all the devotees when things are difficult. Now that's magic happening. And so thank you, Bhima Prabhu, for that. And that's what I'm hearing when I listen carefully through everything. So thank you, Bhima Prabhu.
Prabhu,
And the devotees, of course.
I may have brought my A game, but apparently Krishna has put me on the bench. I fouled out. Too many fouls. I'm off the court.
Pardon?
Thank you, Bhima Kaviraj Prabhu. All right, we are turning the floor over to Stephanie. Stephanie, would you like to recite the Maha Mantra for us, for Krishna?
Sure. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. That was great. Okay, Hare Krishna. Happy Wednesday, dear devotees. Like they say on Facebook, happy Wednesday. Give it to Krishna and come again tomorrow. It was very nice spending the time with you, as always. This is our lifeline. This is our AA group, our accountability, our inspiration. Everything comes from hearing, like Adipusha Prabhu said. Faith comes from hearing. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, devotee.